Sir, looks like you've had enough. What's your room number? I'll make sure you get there safe and sound.
Question: what do you get when you get drunk on a tropical island resort? Answer: a zombie invasion. That's the impression that I got with today's game, Dead Island. When the trailer of Dead Island was first released, everybody was getting excited for it. So was I. As a matter of fact, Dead Island was my top 10 games that I wanted to play over the next year. Does Dead Island meet the hype that I have been gaining since the trailer's first release? No, not really. But we'll get to the faults later. Right now, let's talk about the good things. In Dead Island, you get to choose from 4 different characters, each with their own expertise to help defeat all different kinds of zombies. And there will be plenty of zombies to beat up throughout Dead Island. Well, wouldn't it be a zombie game without zombies now, wouldn't it? The graphics are a nice change of pace from other zombie games. It's not dark and depressing, but it's so full of life and colorful environments. Granted, it's pretty much ruined by the undead, but it's still very nice to look at. You can also create new and interesting weapons to defeat zombies in more interesting ways. For example, the weapon that I am using have been modified to give zombies extra electrical damages, which is pretty sweet. There isn't much I can say about the music, since there isn't really any much of it in the game. However, whatever music you do hear does fit the game's theme quite well. And the sound effects sound exactly what you expect from them. As much as I wanted to enjoy Dead Island for what it's worth, there were some bugs that really bothered me, especially in the co-op department. For example, in this area there was a zombie that I was supposed to kill, but because I teamed up with somebody that was in chapter 2 at the time, I could not kill the zombie and I could not advance out of chapter 1 during this playthrough, which really irritated me. The problem was solved quickly when I decided to play this game offline, but that's when I noticed another problem with the game. Okay, so maybe it's not a big problem, but it is a gripe that I have with this game. Dead Island becomes a much more difficult game when you're only doing single player as opposed to co-op mode. The zombies are much harder to defeat, and you can get easily gang raped by zombies you didn't see coming. From just playing the single player, it became obvious that Dead Island was a game that was meant to be played with multiple people and not just with one person. So that's when I decided to jump back in to some online co-op play. And guess what happened? No mind, I won't let you guess, I'll show you what happened. That's right. The game froze up on me as I was getting a new co-op partner for Dead Island. For a game that's being made around cooperative play, this is unacceptable. And this freezing bug didn't happen to me just once, not twice, but 3 times in a row. The first time was unacceptable, but freezing up 3 times when I'm trying to get a co-op partner? That is really unacceptable.
Toss me a bloody weapon.
Now, to be fair, what I have played of Dead Island, I have enjoyed. But the unfair difficulty in single player mode, as well as some nasty co-op bugs that I have experienced, I can't really recommend it in the shape that this game is in. Overall, I do not recommend picking up Dead Island as a single player experience, as the developers have made the game with co-op gameplay in mind. However, with that being said, I also cannot recommend picking up Dead Island as a co-op game until they patch out some of these bugs that I have experienced in my playthrough. For now, I give Dead Island a D. However, if the developer Deep Silver manages to patch out some of the bugs that I have experienced, I will definitely give this game a second shot in the future. This is Killatia signing off, and I hope to see you next time.